Good morning, all of you. So today we are going to discuss compounds of heavy metals. Let us start with compounds of copper. Copper can form two types of compounds with oxidation states +1 and +2. Cu+1 compounds are called as cuprous compounds and +2 compounds are called as cupric compounds. +1 and +2 cuprous and cupric compounds. Okay. Now we are starting here with copper 1 compounds, that is cuprous compounds. Here we are going to start. See here, boys. So copper 1 compounds. So according to our SRP values, so Cu+1 change it to Cu. The E0 value for this one is 0.52. And if +2 change it to +1, E0 value is 0.16. Start writing 0.16 volts. Altogether, Cu+1 disproportionate. See here, +1 change it to 0, +1 change it to +2. Single element involved in both oxidation and reduction. This is +1 to 0 reduction, +1 to +2 oxidation. This is a disproportionation reaction. It is E0 value 0.36. This reaction is favorable because, so find out the K value by using this E0 value. Already we know. So equilibrium constant and E relation. That is, from that K is equal to, this is the equilibrium reaction. It is solid. Its unity, its concentration is taken as unity. Cu+2 by Cu+1 whole square. Altogether, the value is taken as 10^6 with the help of this E0 value. Okay, that means it is greater than 10^3. It is greater than 10^3. Any reaction, any reversible reaction whose equilibrium constant is greater than 10^3, almost going to be completion. Almost going to be completion. That means here forward reaction is favorable. When it is, if the ion is in aqueous condition, that means the forward reaction is favorable. That means Cu+1 compounds are unstable in aqueous solution. It is completely converted into +2 with the help of this disproportionation reaction. That means Cu+1 compounds are very unstable in aqueous solution. That is in dissolution stage. So that means in water or in aqueous solution, Cu+1 compounds are unstable. It converts into +2. That means in aqueous state, Cu+2 compounds are only exist but not Cu+1 compounds because of this condition. Therefore, Cu+1 compounds are unstable in water and disproportionation in aqueous solution. So backward reaction is favorable if Cu+1 is present in insoluble condition. That means precipitated condition, not soluble situation. If it is soluble, forward reaction is favorable. If it is insoluble, backward reaction is favorable. That means water insoluble salts only exist in +1 condition. Water soluble salts must exist in +2 stated. Find it. Water insoluble copper salts generally, that is +1 compounds, are stable. Water insoluble state. See here the examples: Cu2I2. Here copper +1, Cu2Cl2 +1, thiocyanide, copper thiocyanide. So that is, it is hypochlorite, hypod, that is thiosulfate. It is a thiocyanide, it is a thiosulfate. All these compounds are unstable. That is, all these compounds are insoluble. Those insoluble compounds are only exist, +1 compounds in insoluble state only exist. So that's why these compounds are exist. So, or when it is in complex state, insoluble complex state, for example, CuCN4 times 3+. Here copper is in +1 state. It is also insoluble. Then Cu+1 may exist. So that means insoluble complexes or insoluble solid states, only +1 compounds are stable. In aqueous solution, +2 compounds are stable because of these conditions. So let us discuss one by one. Okay. So this is a 3-. So completed, boys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now compounds one by one. Now finally decide which one is stable. In aqueous state, Cu plus 1 or Cu plus 2?
Plus 2.
Cu plus 2.
Plus 2. So in case Cu plus 1 in aqueous state is exists, what happened there?
In insoluble state or complex state, it exists.
If plus 1 is stable in aqueous state, which is in soluble condition, what happened there? Plus 1 in soluble state exists. What happened? That itself involved in disproportionation and converts into plus 2 condition. So plus 1 compounds there converts into plus 2 if it is soluble. If it is insoluble, not soluble, insoluble, automatically plus 1 itself exists. Okay. So let us start a compound, that is first one any Cu2O. Start with first compound. It is copper 1 oxide or cuprous oxide. Please write notes along with me. Along with me. It is red colored solid. Cu2O is a red colored solid. Okay. First of all, preparation. So frequently, generally it is available in your organic chemistry. And there is a failing solution. Failing solution. What is that? So copper sulfate aqueous solution. It is failing one solution. Sodium potassium tartrate. Sodium potassium tartrate. This mixture, sodium potassium tartrate, this mixture is considered as a failing solution. Here copper is in plus 2 state. When it reacts with any aldehydes, that gives that plus 1 compound is changed to plus 2 compound is changed to plus 1 compound. A red precipitate is formed. Red colored precipitate is formed. So this is the way to prepare Cu2O. When failing solution, what is failing solution? So copper sulfate aqueous solution plus sodium potassium tartrate. Sodium potassium tartrate. It is called as failing 1. It is called failing 2. Failing 1 plus failing 2. The combination is called as a failing solution that contains plus 2 ions. So these plus 2 ions converts into plus 1 condition with the help of aldehyde. Aldehyde. Any aldehyde. For example, CH3, CH1. Acetaldehyde I am taking. So that gives red precipitate. It is a way to prepare Cu2O. The formed Cu2O, it is a covalent solid. It is a covalent solid. So in its structure, each oxide surrounded by 4 copper atoms. Each oxygen surrounded by 4 copper atoms and each copper surrounded by 2 oxygen atoms. Each copper surrounded by 2 oxygen atoms. So this is the structure in Cu2O. It is a covalent solid, polymeric structure. Each oxygen surrounded by 4 copper atoms. So Cu. Just a minute. So each copper surrounded with 2 oxygen atoms. Each oxygen surrounded by 4 copper atoms. Like this end, it is going on. Polymeric structure. Next compound. Cu2Cl2. Next compound, second compound. Cu2Cl2. Cuprous chloride. Or copper 1 chloride. Cuprous chloride or copper 1 chloride. See here how to prepare. When copper metal reacts with cupric chloride, here copper is in +2 state. That gives Cu2Cl2. That gives Cu2Cl2. If it reacts with concentrated HCl, that gives CuCl2 minus ion exists. 2 moles. Okay. If it reacts with dilute HCl, that is in aqueous condition, water is there. It is precipitated as Cu2Cl. It is precipitated as Cu2Cl. So with constant HCl, so it is in complex state, but in dilute HCl, so that is precipitated as Cu2Cl. Okay. So it's a structure observed yesterday. So Cu2Cl2. Just a minute. Cu2Cl2. It is, first of all, its structure is similar to diamond. Its structure is similar to diamond. Next, each copper surrounded by 4 chlorine atoms. 4 chlorine atoms. Similarly, each chlorine surrounded by 4 copper atoms. Each chlorine surrounded by 4 copper atoms. Each copper surrounded by 4 chlorine atoms in the structure. Okay. Next, another way of preparation, that is when copper sulfate reacts with NaCl, that gives first of all CuCl2 plus Na2SO4. This CuCl2 when reacts with copper, that gives Cu2Cl2. Cu2Cl2. Next, please write notes along with me. Next preparation. When cupric chloride reacts with zinc metal, that gives Cu2Cl2 plus ZnCl2. Cu2Cl2 plus ZnCl. Next, another preparation, that is when copper sulfate reacts with NaCl in the presence of SO2, this SO2 acts as reducing agent here, boys. This SO2 acts as reducing agent plus 2H2O gives copper compound. It is converted into Cu2Cl2 from this. Next, Na2SO4 plus 2H2SO4. 2H2SO4. Boys, all these reactions are important. Please try to remember. Next preparation. A property Cu2Cl2 is insoluble in water. Insoluble in water, but dissolved in concentrated HCl by forming complex. Already we know wrote it. By forming CuCl2 minus ion complex. CuCl2 minus complex. Okay, but on dilution, Cu2Cl2 get precipitated. On dilution, CuCl2 get precipitated. Okay, these are the only two compounds available from copper one-sided. Cu2 Cu2Cl, Cu2Cl2. Okay, almost this compound is colorless. Next, subheading copper two compounds. Copper two compounds. Next one, copper 2 cupric and compounds. Copper 2 compounds. So here from this side, the first one is CuOra, that is cupric oxide or copper 2 oxide. Cupric oxide or copper 2 oxide. It is black in color, black color. It is, that is mainly basic in nature. Mainly basic in nature. So basic oxide. Okay, black colors are material. Now, preparation methods. Preparation methods. 2Cu plus O2. This is excess of iron from air. 2Cu plus O2. That oxygen is from air. On strong heating gives 2CuO. 2CuO. Next, cupric hydroxide, CuOH twice. On strong heating gives CuO plus H2O. Next, nitrated. When copper nitrate, cupric nitrate, NO3 twice. On heating gives 2CuO plus 4NO2 plus O2. Cupric oxide. Next, carbonate, when CuCO3 on heating gives CuO plus CO2. CuO plus CO2. These are the some preparation methods. So how to prepare that CuO? Preparation method, it is black solid. Okay. Next, what are the properties? Properties. So properties of CuO. That is CuO, a black color solid, when it reacts with H2O, H2SO4 gives CuSO4 plus H2O. Copper sulfate. If CuO reacts with ammonium hydroxide, NaH4OH, that gives a complex component. Copper salt, Cu plus 2 is there. So Cu, NaH3 4 times, OH twice, plus 3H2O. Okay. Next, CuO plus NaOH, no reaction. That is, CuO is insoluble in NaOH, but soluble in NH4OH. CuO is insoluble in NaOH, but soluble in NH4OH. So these are some properties about CuO. So these are some properties towards cupric oxide. Cupric oxide. Okay. Next compound from copper 2 sides, that is copper 2 chloride, CuCl2. Cupric chloride or copper 2 chloride. Copper 2 chloride. It is also solid ending. Okay. Now, preparation methods. Preparation methods. When copper reacts with chlorine, that gives CuCl2. When copper carbonate, CuCO3, when reacts with HCl, that gives CuCl2 plus CO2 plus H2O. Next, copper cupric hydroxide. So when it reacts with HCl, acid base reaction, that gives Cu 2 times plus 2H2O plus 2H2O. Cupric oxide, when it reacts with HCl, it is also basic ending. Reacts with acid, that gives CuCl2 plus H2O. CuCl2 plus H2O. So these are the preparation methods of CuCl2 and cupric chloride. Okay. Next, properties. So if it is crystallized from, when crystallized from its solution, when crystallized from its solution, so it exists in the form of CuCl2 2H2O, hydrated salt. This is green in color. CuCl2 2H2O, that is hydrated cupric chloride, which is green in color. Okay. So for example, if CuCl4 2 minus Ra, if this one exists, it is brown in color. So please keep in mind, brown in color. Okay. Next, CuCl H2O 3 times Cl. It is pale blue in color. It is pale blue in color. Please keep in mind, these are the colors of some compounds of Cu plus 2 with chlorine. With chlorine. Okay. See here. So if water, each that is chlorines are replaced with water, that gives different compounds. For example, one CuCl3 H2O. Cl. That is possible. Next, CuCl2 H2O twice.
Sir,
Chlorine
minus
is replaced with water. Cl2. Like that, CuCl H2O 3 times Cl. It is third compound. That is pale blue in color. These two are the compounds. Please keep in mind.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, CuCl3
H2O.
ionic pair ఇక్కడ బయట చార్జెస్ ఈక్వల్ గా లేవు.
CuCl
CuCl3 H2O Cl.
CuCl2 H2O.
CuCl3H2OCl. అది సార్
Okay. Just a minute. It is +2.
టోటల్ గా -2 వస్తుంది.
Total -2 వస్తుంది కదా. -2. Maybe that means so overall these are all -2. These are all -2. All these. So along with from cation is available. Maybe all these are -2s. Take it once again. Just a minute. It is neutral. It is neutral. It is -2. It is -2. Okay. It is neutral compound. It is not minus. It is neutral compound. So that's why I'm not writing these two compounds colors. So not exactly. I don't know. Okay. Okay, na? Manikanda?
ఎస్ సార్.
Okay. So this is neutral compound. It has pale blue color. Next, structure. Structure. Structure, that is, see here, copper bonded with chlorines. See here, these fluorochlorines are within the plane. Copper, Cl. Copper, Cl. Just like it is in polymer condition. It is just like in polymer condition. Now, Cl, copper, Cl, copper, Cl. It is another layer, same planet. It is going on. Now, this copper also bonded with this chlorine. So also bonded with another chlorine here in the same in the next layer. In the next layer. So this is one plane. It is another plane. Identify the boys. How many chlorines are bonded with copper? Tell me. Copper surrounded with how many chlorines? Just like this.
6 సార్.
This is possible.
6.
Okay. So copper surrounded by 6 chlorine atoms. Out of these 6 chlorines, total 6 bonds are there. Copper has 6 bonds. So these 4 bonds are short length within the plane bond side. These 2 bonds are long bonds. These 2 bonds are long bonds. That means total 6 chlorine atoms, 6 bonds are there. So 4 short bonds and 2 long bonds. Am I correct? 4 short bonds and 2 long bonds. Very important. Okay. Within the plane, 4 bonds, those are short length. So above and below the plane, 2 chlorine atoms are there. Those are long bonds. So totally copper surrounded with 6 chlorine atoms. So each chlorine surrounded with 2 copper atoms. Correct? Not 2.
3, sir. 3 copper.
Chlorine. 3 N.
3 copper.
3 chlorine atoms.
Three copper atoms.
Okay. Copper atoms. So this is the structure of CuCl2. Particularly, this point is very important. So copper surrounded with 6 chlorine atoms. Among those 6, 4 short bonds, 2 long bonds. 4 short bonds and 2 long bonds. And next compound, and very important, sulfate. copper 2 sulfate. That is CuSO4 5H2O, hydrated salt, which is also called as blue vitriol. Yes. So blue vitriol and cupric sulfate, blue vitriol. So before going to take this, I am writing the structure of this blue vitriol, and that is very, very, very important. See here. First of all, I am writing structure. Structure of blue vitriol. See here, boys. CuSO4 5H2O. Among those 5H2O, 4H2O are in coordinated condition. That gives Cu 4 water molecules are coordinated.
One is out of coordinate.
Yes, one is out of coordination. 4 water molecules are in coordination. That gives a square planar condition here. Next, one water molecule is in outside. Outside. With this hydrogen and this oxygen atom gives hydrogen bonds. Boys. Mind it. Hydrogen bond exists. Hydrogen bonding. Next, sulfated. One sulfate here, sulfate. Yes, double bond O, double bond O, O minus, O and it is also O minus, sulfate ion. This oxygen is coordinated with this is copper. This copper. Okay. Next, this oxygen is hydrogen bonded with this hydrogen. This is also hydrogen bonded. This is also hydrogen bonded. Next, now tell me, boys, what is the coordinate number of copper here in this structure?
5, sir, 5.
5. Now
5.
see here. One more sulfate. Yes, double bond O, O minus, SO4 2 minus. It is bonded here. Okay, sir, from where this is available? See here, it is Cu H2O 5 times SO4. But this sulfate ion,
From another molecule.
from another molecule.
Yes, sir.
From another molecule. That means now tell me what is the coordinate number of copper in this compound?
6, 6.
6 and mind it. So first of all, note down the points. First point, number of oxygen atoms attached to copper is equal to 6. Am I correct or wrong?
Correct, sir.
Correct.
Out of those 6, 4 from water, 2 from sulfates. Okay. So these 6, 4 from water, 2 from sulfates. 4 from water, 2 from sulfates. Next, number of water molecules bonded with hydrogen bonding. Tell me, how many water molecules are in hydrogen bonding?
1.
This is the only one.
Yes, sir.
Only one water molecule with hydrogen bonding. These 2 points are very, very, very important. So, my dear boys, in copper sulfate, coordination number of copper is 6. In copper sulfate, coordination number of copper is 6. Okay. So 4 water molecules, 1 sulfate, another sulfate from next molecule, because it is solid. Okay. Another sulfate molecule from this one. So this is about the structure of this copper sulfate. Now, preparation and properties of the compound. So how to prepare? Boys, is this clear? The structure of copper sulfate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now preparation properties. Preparation methods. Preparation method. CuOra, basic in nature. When it reacts with H2SO4, gives CuSO4 plus H2O. Next, CuOH twice, basic compound, reacts with H2SO4, gives CuSO4 plus 2H2O. Boys, so in the preparation, H2SO4 is used in. This H2SO4 is generally called as vitric acid. Vitric acid. That means this compound mostly prepared from this vitric acid. That's why these are called as vitriol, which is in blue color. That's why which is called as blue vitriol. Next, another basic compound CuCO3, which one also reacts with H2SO4. That gives CuSO4 plus H2O plus CO2. Okay, so these are laboratory preparation methods. These are all laboratory preparation methods. Now, industrially, how is this? That is 2 copper, that is a copper scrap and piece of copper, waste material. When it reacts with H2SO4 in the presence of oxygen, that gives CuSO4 plus H2O. CuSO4 plus H2O, balance it to H2O. H2O, see here boys. When copper metal, where copper is available in your that is electrochemical series boys? Copper, above hydrogen or below hydrogen? Tell me.
Below
In our
hydrogen.
below hydrogen.
Below
This
hydrogen.
copper below hydrogen, when it reacts with acids, so that
It
reaction
would
is almost not possible. Not liberates hydrogen. Okay, because it is below hydrogen, hydrogen in electrochemical series. That means this reaction is possible only in the presence of oxygen. If there is no oxygen, almost this reaction is not possible. Almost. Without this O2, slow down. Without O2, this reaction is not possible. Not possible, as copper is below hydrogen in electrochemical series. Below hydrogen in electrochemical series. When it is arranged from lower to higher end. That is low to high. SRP values are I mentioned any. There copper is in below hydrogen. That's why without oxygen, this reaction is not possible in the presence of oxygen. Industrially, CuSO4 is prepared like this end. Waste scrap copper is there. The scrap copper is converted into CuSO4. Okay. Now, what are the properties of this CuSO4? Properties. Number of properties are there. The most important component is this one. Properties. See here. CuSO4 5H2O. It is efflorescent. What is the meaning of efflorescent?
Losing water.
Losing water. Losses water when exposed to air. When exposed to air. Losses water. So it becomes, see here, CuSO4 5H2O it loses water and it converts into CuSO4 to H2O plus 3H2O. This is lost water molecule, sir. It is pale blue in color. Pale blue in color. It is somewhat thick blue and that is pale blue in color. Next, see here. On heating, action of heat. What is the meaning of action of heat, boys?
In
Heating
presence of-
strongly. The substance is heated strongly without adding anything. Already we completed in qualitative analysis. Just heating the substance, given substance. So CuSO4 5H2O, blue in color. Okay. Heated up to 100 degrees centigrade. That is losses 4 water molecules, converts into CuSO4 H2O. Mind it, this is a colorless. This compound is colorless component. If it is heated strongly up to 250 degrees centigrade, losses that water molecule, that gives CuSO4 itself, and that is also colorless anhydrous compound. That is also colorless. Okay. So you see here, boys. See here. This reaction is observed. Note down. This reaction is used for detection of moisture. For detection of moisture. That means, see here, in our organic chemistry, presence of hydrogen is explained on the page by taking water, organic chemistry. That means if an organic compound is on combustion, all copper converted into carbon dioxide, hydrogen converted into water. So what is released or not, that is identified with the help of, if the gases pass through colorless CuSO4, so water is absorbed by this one, converts into CuSO4 5H2O. That means colorless salt is converted into blue colored salt, that is hydrated salt. This is all possible presence of moisture. If moisture is there, that means water vapors are there or not, is identified with the help of this reaction. So colorless compound change to colored. So colored compound on heating changes to colorless. Okay. So this is the identification reaction. Next, on strong heating, see here, that formed CuSO4 on strong heating converts into CuO and SO3. Once again, this SO3 change to SO2 plus off. Finally, SO2 gas is liberated. Okay, SO2 gas. Next, some other reactions. Boys, note chestunnara?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
good. Note and notes is important.
So any other example of a fluorescent level?
A lot of examples are there. No, it is not time, boys. I will explain later. Efflorescent means loss of water to the environment when it is exposed to air. Next, when CuSO4 reacts with NaOH, that gives CuOH twice plus Na2SO4. It is a precipitator that gives, that is a blue colored precipitant. This is the reaction used in identification of copper, Cu plus 2 sulfate. If it is copper sulfate, automatically that gives blue colored precipitator with NaOH. So that blue colored precipitate is then converted into CuO plus H2O. What is the color of this CuO? Tell me, boys.
Black.
What is the color of
Black.
CuO?
Black.
Yes, black colored. Converts
Reaction.
into black colored condition. Converts into black in condition. Okay, it is a reaction of NaOH. Next, when CuSO4 reacts with NH4OH ending, wherever NaOH is there, automatically that is followed with NH4OH, or NH4OH followed with NaOH. Please be conscious. So reacts with two NH4OH, that gives CuOH twice. This is very, 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 very important reaction. CuOH twice plus NaH4 twice SO4. This mixture with excess of NaH4OH, excess of NaH4OH, that turns into Cu NaH3 4 times SO4 plus 4H2O. Okay, this compound is considered as SCHWEITZER reagent. What is the name, boys? Pronounce it. Switcher's reagent. Switcher's reagent. Okay. Very, very, very important. This is the reagent. Which of the following is Switcher's reagent? Number of times asked. This reagent is called as Switcher's reagent. It is used in the manufacture of artificial silicon. In the manufacture of artificial silk. This point is important. That is nothing but rayon. And also used as a solvent for dissolving cellulose acetate, a polymer. So this scissors reagent. So these 2 points are very, very, very important. So what is the use of scissors reagent? Used in the manufacture of artificial silk and as a artificial silk, and also used as a solvent for cellulose acetate. Cellulose acetate. Next. This is also important. When CuSO4 reacts with potassium iodide, that is a 2Ki, that gives Cu(I2) first of all plus K2SO4n. That formed Cu(I2) then reacts, converts into Cu2I2 plus I2. Cu2I2 plus I2. So this reaction used in the quantitative estimation of copper. Quantitative estimation of copper. Very, very, how much copper is there? Quantitatively estimated with the help of this potassium iodide reaction. The quantitative estimation and quantity is calculated. Next, when CuSO4 reacts with potassium cyanide, that gives CuCN twice plus K2SO4 plus K2SO4. This CuCN twice once again converted into Cu2CN2 insoluble material, that is insoluble material, plus Cn twice. Cn twice. This cyan twice is called as cyanogen. So its structure is C triple bond N bonded with C triple bond N. This is cyanogen. Okay, CuCN twice. Cu2CN2. Next, this formed Cu2CN2 Once again reacts with potassium cyanide, excess of potassium cyanide, that gives K3 CuCN 4 times complex. K3 CuCN 4 times complex. So this is the reaction of KCN, very, very, very important. All these reactions are important. First of all, converts into copper 2 cyanide, then copper 1 cyanide, then it converts into a complex, soluble complex. Okay, next one. Next, when copper sulfate 2CuSO4 reacts with SO2 sulfur dioxide with 2KSCN potassium thiocyanide plus 2H2O gives 2CuSCN. It is a white colored precipitate. White colored precipitate plus K2SO4 plus H2SO plus H2SO4. No doubt, this reaction is used in the gravimetric estimation of copper. So previous one is a quantitative estimation. Now it is a gravimetric estimation. Different way of expressions in your college, that is in higher classes we will discuss, and no need to identify this gravimetric analysis. So some quantities. Once again, quantitative error. How much weight of the copper is there? That is by quantitative estimation and gravimetric estimation. Gravimetric estimation. Next, when copper sulfate reacts with K4FeCN6, what is the name of this compound, boys? K4FeCN6.
Potassium
Potassium
ferrocyanide.
ferrocyanide.
Ferrocyanide, yes. Ferro plus 2 state is there. That is gives Cu2 FeCN6. It is chocolate brown color. Chocolate brown color. So it is one of the tests to identify copper ions in qualitative analysis. Plus 2 K2SO4. 2 K2SO4. Okay. So boys, this is used as a semi-permeable membrane. Where it is used? Semi-permeable membrane. Do you
Osmosis
know?
and reverse
Osmosis, sir.
Yes, osmosis. So semi-permeable membrane is used. Artificial semi-permeable membrane is prepared from copper ferrocyanide. That copper ferrocyanide is prepared like this. Okay. Next, when CuSO4 reacts with H2SN, that gives CuS plus H2SO4. It is black in color and soluble in hot dilute HNO3. Hot dilute HNO3. Like a few reactions, some more reactions. Next, this formed CuS, soluble in hot dilute, that is continuation reaction. So CuS reacts with 8HNO3, dilute HNO3. gives CuNO3 twice. NO3 twice plus 4H2O, balancing in 3 CuNO3 twice plus 4H2O plus 2NO plus 3S. 3S. Next one. When it reacts with iron, CuSO4 when reacts with Fe gives Cu plus FeSO4 displacement reaction based on E0 values. Next, when CuSO4 reacts with zinc, that is
Not possible,
Cu
not-
plus
ZnSO4
ZnSO4. Why not possible?
possible, sir, above zinc.
Possible and reverse not possible. Reverse not possible. These are displacement reactions. Next, when CuSO4 reacts with Na2S2O3 and excess case, this is called as hypora, sodium thiosulfate. Hypod that gives CuS2O3, which is a blue colored precipitate. Blue precipitate plus Na2SO4, Na2S4O6. Na2S4O6. Next, it is Cu2. Cu2S2O3. Just a minute. CuSO4, Na2S2O3, CuS2O3. Okay. Plus Na2SO4, not S2S4. Na2SO4. Yes, balanced. Next, continuation reaction. That blue precipitate. That is 2CuS2O3 once again reacts with Na2S2O3 because we are using access condition. Na2S2O3 that gives Cu2S2O3 plus Na2S4O6. Tetrathionate, sodium tetrathionate. Next, that formed cupric thiosulfate. 3 moles Cu2S2O3. Continuation reactions, all these are with excess condition. With less amount, here is top end. With excess condition, all these reactions are possible. Plus 2 Na2S2O3. Na2S2O3 hypo gives Na4Cu6S2O3 6 times. S2O3 6 times. These are the total reactions, possible conditions. Total reactions. So if less amount of hypo, this is the final case. If excess of hypo is considered, all these reactions are possible. The final compound is this one, complex compound. Final compound. Next. Note points, last one. Note points.
Sir, Na4C46 అది బ్యాలెన్స్ అయిందా సార్?
అవలేదంటవా? Na4
కాంపౌండ్ Na4C4 Cu6
3 plus 2 5. Just a
Yes,
minute,
sir.
కాంప్లెక్స్
Sulfur.
just a minute.
complex.
Balancing, I'm checking. Na4 Cu2S2O3 6 times. Cu how many times? 6 times.
Sulfur
S2O3 how
sulfate.
many times? S2O3 here.
5
2
times.
times.
5
It
times.
is 5 times. 5 times and 5 times. Okay. Completely balanced. Okay, balanced. Next, note points. See here. These are important uses. First one, CuSO4 plus CaOH twice. This mixture end, which is called as BORD EAUX bond X mixture end, which is used as fungicide and germicide, which is used as fungicide or germicide. Next, CuSO4 used in the preparation of Fehling's solution. CuSO4 used in the preparation of Fehling's solution. Okay. How much time is there? 20 minutes. Okay. Next subheading. So this is about copper salts. Copper and copper compounds. Next one, compounds of zinc and compounds of zinc. First component, ZNO, oxides, zinc oxide. Zinc oxide. Preparation methods. ZnCO3 on heating gives ZNO plus CO2. Next, 2 ZnS plus 3 O2 gives ZNO plus SO2. 2 ZNO plus SO2. 2 SO2. Yes. Next, nitrate. NO3 twice. Zinc nitrate on strong heating gives 2 ZNO plus NO2 plus O2 and balance it NO2 4 times. Okay. So these are the preparation methods. Next. Note points.
2O2, sir.
O2, na? Okay. Next point. When zinc vapors combine with O2 nena 3 to 6
O2, sir. O2,
2
sir.
to 12
Only O2, sir.
12 O2 is 8 only O2 and when zinc vapors combine with oxygen to form zinc oxide, no doubt, which condenses as wool material, woolly material called philosopher's gold and very philosopher's wool. Most important point is philosopher's wool, that is zinc reacts with oxygen that gives 2 ZNO. So this is condensed conditioning. This is called as a philosopher's coolant. Philosopher's own. Next, properties. Properties. Zadenvora. It is white when cold, yellow when hot. Yellow when hot due to crystal defects. Metal defects due to crystal defects. Okay. Next, it is amphoteric. Both acidic and basic in nature. So that is explained with the help of these reactions. That is, when ZnO reacts with NaOH, here ZnO is acid, gives Na2 ZnO2 plus H2O, sodium zincate. When ZnO reacts with HCl, gives ZnCl2 plus H2O. When ZnO reacts with calcium oxide, it is base, now it is acts as acid, gives cobalt oxide, I think, not calcium, cobalt oxide, that gives CO ZnO2, which is Rinnaman green in color. RINNMANN, Rinnaman green. So that is green mass. Green mass is formed, which is Rinnaman green. Number of times asked, Rinnaman green. Okay. These are the preparation and properties of zinc oxide. Preparation and properties of zinc oxide. Okay. Next one. Next compound, zinc chloride. Second compound, ZnCl2. Zinc chloride. See here preparations. When zinc reacts with HCl, 2HCl, that gives ZnCl2 plus H2, because zinc is above hydrogen, that liberates hydrogen. Next, when ZnO reacts with HCl, that gives 2HCl, ZnCl2 plus H2O. Next, hydroxide, zinc hydroxide reacts with HCl, gives 2HCl, ZnCl2 plus 2H2O. Carbonate, ZnCO3 plus HCl gives ZnCl2 2 times plus CO2 plus H2O. CO2 plus H2. Next, properties. It crystallizes. It crystallizes from solution as ZnCl2 2H2O, hydrated condition. If that is heated strongly, that converts into ZnO plus HCl plus ZnO plus HCl plus H2O. Zinc oxide. Next, Anhydrous compound can be prepared. Boys, all these are hydrated conditions. Anhydrous compound can be prepared by passing chlorine gas over hot zinc. That is, Zn plus Cl2 gives ZnCl2. Anhydrous condition. So all those are hydrated maybe. So this is anhydrous condition. Next, 2ZnO plus Cl2 gives 2ZnCl2 plus O2. In all cases, it is anhydrous condition. HgCl2 gives ZnCl2 plus H0. So in all these cases, so ZnCl2 is anhydrous. ZnCl2 is anhydrous. So this is the preparation, some little bit condition set towards ZnCl2. Towards ZnCl2. Okay. Next, third compound. Third compound. And most important compound, that is zinc sulfate. That is ZnSO4 7H2O, which is called as white vitriol. Boys, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Preparation methods. Last compound from zinc site. Please do it fast. When zinc reacts with H2SO4, gives ZnSO4 plus H2 ZnSO4 plus H2. Next, zinc oxide reacts with H2SO4, just like CuSO4. ZnSO4 plus H2 . Next, hydroxide, zinc hydroxide reacts with H2SO4, gives ZnSO4 plus 2H2. Carbonate, ZnCO3 plus H2SO4 gives ZnSO4 plus H2O plus CO2. So all these are hydrated conditioning. 7H2O, that is white vitriol, is the compound is also called as white vitriol because it is white in color. Action of heat. Action of heat. So ZnSO4 7H2O, first of all, heated up to greater than 39 degrees centigrade, temperature important, less than 70 degrees centigrade, between 39 to 70 degrees. One water molecule is lost. ZnSO4 6H2O. If it is heated greater than 70 degrees centigrade, so remaining 5 water molecules are minus 5H2O gives ZnSO4 H2O. It is heated up to greater than 280 degrees centigrade. That converts into ZnSO4 plus H2O. Heated up to 800 degrees centigrade gives ZnO plus SO2 plus half O2. ZnO plus H2O, SO2 plus half O2. See here, boys, different temperatures are very, 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 very important. Action of heat condition for Zn. Properties. Properties. So it is a white solid, soluble in water. So white solid soluble in water and white vitriol. Okay. Now some reactions. ZnSO4 reacts with NaOH, gives zinc hydroxide plus Na2SO4. Na2SO4. Next, that formed zinc hydroxide with excess of NaOH, gives, it is excess case. Already we covered in 14th fourth group cations, same reactions. Na2 ZnOH twice, soluble compound in excess of NaOH, soluble in excess of NaOH. Now with NH4OH, ZnSO4 with NH4OH gives 2 moles zinc hydroxide plus NH4 twice SO4. NH4 twice SO4. Okay. Now this compound is in excess of ammonium hydroxide, that is zinc hydroxide plus NH4 twice SO4 plus NH4OH, that is in excess case and gives 2 NH4OH. Zn NH3 4 times SO4 plus 4H2O. Zn NH3 4 times SO4 plus 4H2O. So it is also soluble complex. That means zinc salt ZnSO4, Zn plus 2 ions with NaOH gives a soluble complex, with NH4OH also gives a soluble complex. So that means zinc is the only metal in almost metal which is soluble in both excess of NH4OH and an excess of NaOH. Note down that point, very, very, very important. Zinc, okay, the only metal which gives soluble complexes with both NaOH and NH4OH. Both NaOH and NH4OH.
Excess.
That is, yes, excess both NaOH and in excess condition. Is zinc. Is zinc, very, very, very important. Find it. Aluminum dissolves in NaOH, but not in NH4OH. It is also important. Aluminum NaOH dissolves, but not in NH4OH. Next, some other reactions. Please wait, boys. Please wait. Within 10 minutes, I will complete. ZnSO4 plus K4FeCN6, potassium ferrocyanide. That gives Zn2 FeCN6 plus 2K2SO4. 2K2SO4. It is greenish white precipitate. Greenish white precipitate. If it is still in excess condition, K4 FeCN6. Excess condition gives Zn3 K2 FeCN6. Compound is formed. Solubilent. The precipitate is solubilent. Next, with H2S, ZnSO4 plus H2S gives ZnS. Boys, it is white dirty color, that white precipitate. The only sulfide, white sulfide is ZnSND plus H2SO4. The only white sulfide. The only white sulfide is ZnS. Next, some uses, a mixture of BaSO4 plus ZnS is called lithophone. Lithophone. Used in white paint. Used in white paint. This white paint is permanent. This white paint is permanent, but the covering area is less. So more paint is required. More paint for less area is required. More paint for less area is required. Very, very, very important. Lithophone. BaSO4 ZnS. That mixture is called as lithophone. Last point. 5 ZnSO4 plus 5 Na2CO3 plus 3 H2O gives 2 ZnCO3, 3 ZnOH twice plus Na2SO4 plus 3 CO2. It is basic zinc carbonate. The compound is called as basic zinc carbonate. This is about zinc sulfate. These are the compounds of zinc. So today we covered both copper compounds and zinc compounds. Okay, thank you, boys.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.